Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anca and I do art and illustration related videos and sometimes tattoo related videos. So if you're into that, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel. Today I wanted to make some small air dry clay pins, which I will be using as mărțișoare, which is a Romanian tradition for the month of March, and I will be sending these out to my patrons. For this project you will need air dry clay. As usual, I am using Das air dry clay and some sculpting tools. I start out by rolling out my clay with a rolling pin, and then I cut out small square shapes, which will be small envelopes. So I wanted to do kind of a Valentine's theme with hearts and some envelopes which had hearts on them. I had a small heart-shaped stamp which I used for the middle of the envelope, and then I just sculpted out some lines to give the impression of a small envelope. So I did this with about 20 pieces of clay, slowly carving out the shape and smoothing out the edges with my fingers and some water, and then I let them out to dry for about 24 hours. Once they were dry, I did sandpaper them a bit just to smooth out any imperfections. And now it's time for my favorite part, which is decorating them. For the decoration part, I used gouache from Art Philosophy, and I also used some markers from Posca and also Artistro paint pens. The way I usually approach my pins is I paint one side, let it dry, then I paint the other side, let it dry, and then I paint the edges and let them dry. So that way I have like the full color set, and then I can decorate on top of that. It's really easy to create pins from air dry clay. I've been doing this for years and I have quite a few videos on these types of projects. You can check out my DIY projects playlist for more ideas. But I think this came out super cute. I went with 3 colorways, so one was yellow, one was blue, and one was green. And for the design, you will see later in the video, I went with really simple designs. I didn't want to overcomplicate them because I think pins should be quite simple and cute, just to make a small statement. So once I had everything painted in gouache, I let those dry for quite a bit, and then I used my markers to decorate them. I went with 3 different designs. The first one was kind of a pretty classic type of envelope with those red and blue stripes on the edges. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty common to see envelopes like this. So that was the yellow one. Then I went with a striped kind of a checkered design, and then for the last one I went with a simple dot work design. It was really easy to work with the pens. It helped a lot with getting fine details, and even though I've had the Artistro pens for quite a while, they didn't dry out and I still really love them. I also love the Posca markers, but I don't have many colors from them. So yeah, I definitely recommend you get some markers if you're planning to do projects like this. One thing I will say is these types of projects do take several days to complete with all the drying time in between, so make sure you have enough time set for that. Other than that, this is quite fun and quite relaxing for me and a nice break from tattooing. So these are the finished pins. The only thing left to do is to attach the backings. The backings I got from a local art supply store. I'm pretty sure you can find them online. There are different types of backings, but I prefer these smaller ones with the butterfly clasp at the back. So to attach the backings I use super glue. I usually add a dot of super glue and then attach the pin, and then I go over once again with more super glue just to make sure that it stays in place. Once the backings are attached and dried, it's time to varnish them. For varnishing, I use an acrylic based varnish. It's pretty similar to resin, only you don't have to cure it or anything, so I will leave a link to my varnish in the description box. And I also add quite a bit of varnish, a thick layer, and on top of the super glue, just to make sure that the backings are secured in place. And again, I varnish one side, let it dry, then I varnish the other side, let it dry, and then I varnish the edges and let it dry. So when I say it's time consuming, it really is, but it's really fun to do these types of projects. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you are interested in more types of videos like this, or if you like tattoos or illustration. Thank you so much for watching, and here are the final results of the pins. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!